Some riffs punch you in the face with distortion, but the best ones don't need all that. Today we're counting down 10 of the best acoustic riffs ever written. Riffs that stick with you, move you, and prove that 6 strings and some soul is all you really need. These songs are in no particular order. Without further ado, let's go! At number 10, guys, we've got something special. Dust in the Wind. Dust in the Wind by Kansas started as a simple finger picking exercise. Guitarist Kerry Livgren was teaching himself finger picking to improve his technique and came up with this now iconic riff that everybody knows. His wife overheard it and suggested he turned it into an actual song. At first, Livgren didn't think much of it. It wasn't even meant to be a Kansas track, but the band loved it that much, so they added lyrics and made it into a masterpiece. The result came one of their biggest hits, built on a riff that was never actually meant to be anything more than practice. It's such a sick riff. Play it. Next up we have a riff from my personal favourite band of all time, Fleetwood Mac. Can you guess? Landslide. The iconic acoustic riff for Landslide was written by Lindsey Buckingham in 1973 while he and Stevie Nicks were staying in Aspen, Colorado. They had gone there after their album as the duo Buckingham-Nicks had failed commercially and were at crossroads emotionally and financially. Nicks was considering going back to school if their music career didn't take off. While she was out for a walk in the snowy mountains, Buckingham sat in a rented house with his guitar and began playing the delicate finger-picking riff that has now become Landslide. When Nicks returned, she heard it and was immediately inspired. She wrote the lyrics in about 5 minutes, channeling her fears, doubts and reflections about love, aging and change. The song later became one of their most successful hits, and I'm pretty sure we all know why. It's a tune! And if you've seen Jack Frost, when they play it on that, gets me every time. At number 8, we've got something I bet you never thought would be on this list, but it's undeniably great. Master Exploder by Tenacious D. Master Exploder was featured in 2006 on their film The Pick of Destiny. The heavy over-the-top riff, often mistaken for a classic metal homage, was actually written by Kyle Gass, the band's guitarist and musical backbone. The riff came together during a writing session for the film, as the band was trying to craft and create rock riffs in a comedic inspired way. While the song is presented in the movie as being so powerful it causes heads to explode, the riff itself was intentionally designed for a parody and to celebrate the bombastic style of a classic arena rock and metal tune. You can't deny it. Listen to it. At number 7, we've got one that had to be on this list. Wish You Were Here by Pink Floyd. The opening riff of Wish You Were Here by Pink Floyd was written by David Gilmour during a warm-up session at Abbey Road Studios in 1975. While waiting for the rest of the band to arrive, Gilmour was casually strumming on a 12-string acoustic guitar. Roger Waters heard the riff from another room and immediately connected with it. The spontaneous moment became the foundation of the song. The track, and especially its riff, captures a sense of absence and longing that defines the album. Written largely as a tribute to former bandmate Syd Barrett, whose mental health struggles had forced him to leave the group. In my humble opinion, I think it's Pink Floyd's best song. But that's just me. Take a listen. At number 6, we've got an absolute blinding riff. Wanted Dead or Alive by Bon Jovi. The iconic acoustic riff from Bon Jovi's Wanted Dead or Alive was written by guitarist Richie Sambora, inspired by the sound and style of Bob Seger's Turn the Page. Sambora and John Bon Jovi were trying to capture the loneliness and grit of life on the road, like rock and roll cowboys. During a writing session in John's apartment, Sambora started experimenting with a 12-string acoustic, and that haunting western style riff came to life almost immediately. The song became one of Bon Jovi's biggest hits, blending rock star swagger with introspective storytelling. It's completely unforgettable. One of the first things I ever tried to learn when I first learnt guitar, because that's what you do. Don't lie to me, you know you did the same. At number 5, it's another riff I'm guilty of learning when I first picked up a guitar. Angie by the Rolling Stones, one of my dad's favourite songs. Angie by the Rolling Stones is one of their most iconic acoustic ballads, released in 1973 on the album Goat's Head Soup. The song's hauntingly beautiful acoustic riff was composed by Keith Richards. Despite popular myths that it was written about David Bowie's wife Angela or even Marianne Faithfull, Richards has said in his autobiography Life that the name Angie was chosen simply because it fit the melody. The song was actually written while he was recovering from heroin withdrawals in Switzerland, and the riff came to him during that time. The gentle descending pattern became the foundation of the song's intimate and melancholy feel. Angie! Joe, stop singing, just play the original. At number 4, I'll be real with you guys, I don't even listen to this song very often, but whenever it comes on, you don't turn it off because the riff's undeniable. Iris by the Goo Goo Dolls. The iconic acoustic riff from Iris by the Goo Goo Dolls was written by guitarist John Rainick? I want to say that. In 1998 for the City of Angels movie soundtrack. At the time, John was struggling with writer's block and feeling intense pressure to deliver a standout song. The breakthrough came when he was given an early cut of the film for inspiration. While watching it, the emotion of the story clicked with him, and the riff became almost instantly, as he described, as one of the most rare moments where everything fell into place. He used an unusual guitar tuning, B, D, 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 D my G. And that helped give the riff its haunting, quality feel that you hear today. The tuning and the riff became the heart of the song, which ultimately turned it into the band's biggest hit. And if you've not seen the performance where it's absolutely hailing one down on stage, raining, people are all singing it back, have you been living under a rock, my G? Check it out! At number 3, I'll be honest, I put this on there because I got ahead of myself. This is probably one of my favourites. I'm a sucker for medieval music for some reason. So on this list, Ritchie Blackmore has laid his bed. You're probably thinking, something from Deep Purple, right? Wrong! You're wrong. Minstrel Hall by Blackmore's Night. This song, Minstrel Hall, is an instrumental acoustic piece by Ritchie Blackmore, best known as the guitarist of Deep Purple and Rainbow. It appears on the 1997 Shadow of the Moon album by Blackmore's Night. There's not actually much backstory on this song. I did some research, but apparently Ritchie Blackmore's quite a chill guy who doesn't want to start telling everyone his business. But I'll leave you with this. I can only assume he wrote it in one of his mansions that's castle-like, with castle clothes on, with a lute and a beer. Probably mead, knowing that guy. Who knows, but now at least you've got some sort of vision. Here's the riff. You know it's a cool riff, it's cool, it's a bit different, but it's cool. I like to go to castles and listen to that kind of stuff in the car. I don't know why. I'm a weirdo. Anyway, at number 2, one of the best acoustic riffs ever written, and it's a cover. But these guys made it better. Babe, I'm Gonna Leave You by Led Zeppelin. It's a haunting folk ballad famously covered by Led Zeppelin on their 1969 debut album. The song itself was originally written by Ann Bredon in the late 1950s, but popularised by The Lead Out. Jimmy Page discovered the song through Joan Baez's version and developed his own arrangement, blending delicate finger picking with explosive dynamics, a technique he had been experimenting with during this time with the Yardbirds. The iconic riff wasn't written from scratch by Page, but rather adopted and transformed into his signature light and shade style, using a borrowed classic guitar to craft its now legendary opening during rehearsal. Jimmy Page, what can you say? Gangster. Show a clip. At number 1, this one is a special one. Planet Caravan by Black Sabbath. The riff is amazing. I listen to this song whenever I'm just in a chill mood and I'm driving. My go-to is stick Planet Caravan on. And if anyone knows how Ozzy Osbourne's vocals were recorded on that, it sounds like his vocals were pushed through an organ. I don't know how they got that tone, but I produce music myself and I want to know. So if anyone knows, leave it in the comments. I'm going off topic. Let me talk about Planet Caravan. Planet Caravan by Black Sabbath is a dreamy, psychedelic departure from the band's typical heavy sound. Featured in 1970 on the album Paranoid, the song showcases a mellow, jazzy acoustic riff that floats over a soft percussion and cosmic lyrics. Guitarist Tony Iommi wrote the riff during a Paranoid session, using a clean tone with a gentle fingerpicking style to capture a spacey, meditative vibe. The band wanted to explore a different atmosphere, something more laid back and trippy, and the riff came out of that experiment. While there isn't a detailed documented origin story for the riff itself, it's known that the band was trying to create something different at the time, and as Geezer said, something that you could just get stoned to and enjoy. And I think they did that. Feast your ears on this one, guys. So there you have it. That's my top 10 best acoustic riffs. Now listen, there's plenty more out there, but I couldn't fit them on. This is just episode 1 of this. I'm sure I'll do way more. If you guys like this video, you know what to do. Like it, share it, and subscribe. But most importantly, let me know what you think is missing from this list. What acoustic riffs would you put on there? And what acoustic riffs would you take off? I've been Joe in the Music Dojo. One love!